Well, folks, at the end of this week, we're going to bring the curtain down on the glorious career of the one, the only Mr. Paul Watson. And this interview is being conducted in the manager's office. You're not in the manager's seat. I'm
No.
in there. You felt a bit strange about doing that. Is there any reason for that?
Yeah, I didn't. I thought that might be a bit disrespectful actually to do that.
Okay.
I'm in Jano's chair.
Should he be worried?
No, but there was. I knew it was his because there was biscuit crumbs on it, so I knew that would be his.
I mean, the reason we've chosen this room is to speak about what your sort of future is going to hold in the game. Touched on one of the other interviews there, the fact that for you, playing career's not over yet. So, I mean, what are your thoughts? What sort of level would you like to still be playing at, if possible?
Probably as high as I can. I think. I think obviously when you set out and when you play at a level, your goal always has to be to try and play at that highest level that you can. Be it football or anything that you do. I think so. So yeah, I'm keen to keep playing it. I feel I can still contribute at a good level. So I suppose in that sense, we'll just see how it pans out.
You say you're waiting on the phone ringing, really?
Waiting on the phone ringing. It's been a long couple of weeks. It's been off the hook, but we'll see.
I mean, are you going to take a bit of time to yourself, do you think, or would that not work in terms of getting used to not playing football, maybe not having the fitness, etc.? Is this something you have to just keep on doing?
I think once you go out and stop, it's probably harder to get back in. I've always thought that. So I think I would want to probably keep going right away. But listen, I've been doing this for probably 20 years at a part-time level, and the sacrifices and the set times that you can go on holiday and all that sort of stuff. It's been a long time. So yeah, I'm not going to rush into anything. I'm just going to take it as it comes and see what does come up, if anything, and then take it from there. I suppose I've not really thought too far ahead. While I've been playing, I just kind of thought I went and done my C licence and my B licence pretty quickly just to get them done, so that I had them in case anything does come up. Things change quickly in football, and I thought you're always better just having them there. And but yeah, I haven't really given it a great deal of thought in terms of what happens after Montrose.
I mean, one of the earlier interviews there talked about being the captain, and that was something that you were happy to take on, and wanted. I mean, do you see management or coaching, whatever it may be, as one potential future route for you?
Yeah, I think so. I would like to try it, definitely. I think there's so many different roles now in football. You used to just get a manager and an assistant manager, and that was it. So there's loads of different roles and within coaching and all the different things and all the different levels. So yeah, like I say, I've not really given it a great deal of thought. I think I would be, I think everyone probably thinks when they're a player and they're coming to the end, I think everyone thinks if you're going to go into management, you think you would be a good manager, but it's not until you get into it and then you find out. I think, I listened to Charlie Mulgrew.
I was just about to mention that,
Charlie Mulgrew, in his short time at Kelty, how much he really never enjoyed it. Yeah. And, and that's, he openly, well-respected player, brilliant player and great career and speaks really well and comes across really well. And somebody you would think naturally would go and be a good manager, but he just hated it. He just never enjoyed it after having all that period of thinking he wanted to be a manager. So it just goes to show you never know what it's going to be like. And like I say, you always think, you think I could give that a bash and be good at it. But and the manager always says when I'm chapping his door, asking him why I'm not playing.
He talks a lot about you chapping the door.
I've only done it once this year. But, he's like, listen, you've got to make these decisions. And it's not easy. And, when you've got 20 players to keep happy, it's not easy. So thankless task, I think. But yeah, I would be up for giving it a bash.
Well, give it a go, eh? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Nothing ventured, nothing gained, I suppose.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I mean, is there any other role that you could see yourself ever playing in football apart from player, manager, coach, perhaps? I mean, do you see yourself just becoming a fan of a team and going and watching football every Saturday?
Well, I'm a Dundee fan anyway, so I go quite a lot of the Dundee games when I can. Out with it. If they're not on a Saturday, and we go with Webby and some other mates. So I enjoy that side of it anyway.
Yeah.
Not always watching, Dundee that enjoyable over the years, but better now. But certainly the derbies. We're at the last derby, and it was 5-2 one. It was a brilliant game.
Great difference.
Great game. So yeah, no, there's that side of it. I try to get the kids, the girls into going to watch Dundee and that. They're not interested. So yeah, it might be something I have to do on my own. But yeah, there's loads of things you can go and do. But I don't know. I'll just have to see how it goes. Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting. So speaking of Lindsay at the awards dinner, and she'd said something that I'd never really taken into consideration, which was your girls have never known anything but you being at Montrose FC, and I had not thought about that.
I know,
you don't think about how big an impact it has on everybody.
Yeah.
Not just you giving up the game. The fact that the girls have only ever known you being here at Montrose FC.
Yeah, I know. But if you asked them, they wouldn't be slightly bit interested.
Let's not worry.
They would say to them, "My dad's leaving Montrose." All right, okay. That's totally true, and that that's been a massive part of the club, and they've all been made to feel so welcome. But they've all been born when I've been here. Yeah. Down to, I think, when they were born, Pete's wife Jane making them, knitting them stuff, and it's just great memories, and them coming out as mascots and stuff like that, and whatever else, and being on the pitch, when we won the league and stuff. So yes, great memories from them as well.
But I mean, your parents as well.
Yeah.
Coming along to watch you. It's you just, for me, I just never had thought about that, and it isn't just one individual with a club. This really is a family club, but it's also your family's club.
Yeah, totally. Well, they've been coming up since, obviously, they've been coming to watch me since I started playing. So, but obviously 12, 13 years coming up here. So I think my mum and dad will be at loose end on a Saturday
they
as
can
well.
still be fans,
Yeah, they could maybe still come up. Yeah, but yeah, that's the thing, and they've always been made to feel really welcome. And especially all the stuff with the testimonial, and they've always got on great and spoke to the fans and everything. So they've probably really enjoyed it as well. Yeah. So yeah, they'll have a gap to fill as well if I don't keep playing. So, but certainly they'll miss coming up here.
Yeah,
definitely.
I mean, you talk about the sacrifices that are made being a football player. Your Saturday is taken up, and you've got your evenings of training as well. I mean, is Lindsay going to be happy about you hanging about, or is she going to be finding people to phone you?
I think she probably would initially, then she'd get quickly fed up. But no, I think, listen, for them as well, it's quite restrictive. You want to go on holiday at Christmas, or you want to go away out with that summer period that you get in the window, and it's always restricted by the football.
Yeah.
And when the fixtures come out and you're starting games in the middle of July, it never goes down.
You don't get long off, do you?
Never
Let's
goes
be
down
honest.
too well, no. And especially now, because the season starts earlier with this cup as well. So, but look, the manager and that have been great with you need time off and stuff. But, I've always wanted to train and be here as much, as I can during the season. So yeah, I suppose that would be one positive if I did stop playing. We'd be getting that time back, because like you say, I'd want to think how many weeks it is, that you actually got off properly, especially if you're in the playoffs and you've got another extra week on the end of it. So yeah, I think I'll just cross that bridge when we come to that, I think.
I mean, I think there's no much point in me saying, is there any one thing that you're going to miss, because there'll be a combination of things. Mm-hmm. You've already talked about the lads in the change room, etc., etc.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an opportunity, this, I suppose, for you to sort of say, how much you've felt about your time here and your love of the club, etc., and people, to thank along the way, I suppose.
Yeah, I think. We've been here 4 days already doing these interviews.
I tell you what, I can't wait to watch it stop.
But no, I think if I was to sit here and try and thank everyone for the last 13 years, but from the board right through and I've said it numerous times, and along with the testimonial stuff, the people, from the players to the backroom staff to the volunteers, the helpers, and up the way to the board. It's been I'll forever have great memories of the club.
Yeah.
So
Our journey's very similar, actually. I ended up getting involved here at a similar sort of time, and I do remember you constantly bombarding me with footballs when I was money the ball. It was torture. Wondering about this massive big heat on.
Oh,
bang!
God.
Hey,
Oh.
and then they just sort of.
look how far you've come. Look,
I know,
you're
I'll
the
tell
main
you
man now.
Target practice to then being on the board.
You're the main man, yeah. So
Hey, no, there's only one main man this week, buddy, and that is yourself. It really has. I've said this many times. It has been a pleasure to be able to work with you at the club, and to be a friend, and to have spent so many great times in your company, because it really has been wonderful, and it's a wonderful club to be a part of.
Definitely.
It really is.
Definitely, and we've managed to get through it without being too
emotional.
Too emotional, but yeah, no, the feeling is definitely mutual. So thanks for everything.
The reality is, I'm going to miss you greatly.
Miss you too.
Take care, bud.